you take less offense at Hall and Nash jumping or Luger jumping and, quote, looking out for themselves, especially when in retrospect Hall and Nash jumping did kind of change the salary structure and forced Vince McMahon to give downside guarantees to compete. That's the thing that kind of puzzled me is by the end of the book I thought maybe you would say I was too loyal or I understand wrestlers who left for more money now, and I wasn't sure if you landed in that place or not.
You know, I'm never going to say I was too loyal. I'll never say that because no matter, you know, because the thing is you got to understand this guy provided me a great living. Despite him not calling me or, you know, hey, thanking me for what I've, you know, for all the years and stuff like that. I mean, I am. Don't get me wrong, too. I am disappointed in as far as, you know, everything that I've done, you know, and for the company and stuff like that. And as hard as I've worked and as loyal as I was, you know, and the injuries that I've went through and just about losing my life and stuff like that. But to me, that's all part of a journey because, you know, and it's still no excuse, you know, and you know, you talk about the loyalty with Nash and Hall but they were the ones, like you said, they set the bar for the boys to make more money too. Yeah. You know, so I thank those guys for that, which I should have thanked them in the book, but I didn't. But I'm going on record right now. You know, I want to thank Kevin and Scott for doing that because that was huge for everybody. You know, and I appreciate that. You know, so you know I thank them in that aspect. But as far as the way they did it, I didn't like the way they did it, but it all worked out for everybody. You know, so that's a hard coin to flip right there.
Yeah.
On what you do, you know, because you know, look what it created.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, and I appreciate Kevin and Scott for doing that. You know, and I don't know, I don't, you know, and the thing I want to mention this too, real quick about Scott Hall. I'm so happy for that guy because I'm hoping he got his life straightened out. DDP has done so much for that guy, you know, and I just hope. You know, I'm proud of Scott, and I hope he keeps up the good work. You know, I'm really happy for him.
And he's the first to admit that he was a drunk asshole, and you've told your stories in the book, and other people have, and I've interviewed him a few times now on the live cast recently, and 6-7 years ago, we did like 6 hours of an interview, 6-7 hours of an interview for my newsletter. And the same thing with Kevin Nash. I did 6-7 hours with him, and he's been on the live cast a few times. They're very willing to admit they were, you know, jerks and assholes back in the day. And very apologetic. You know, Scott Hall especially lately has been really apologetic about that now that he's got a clear head.
But you know what? I don't think Scott needs to apologize, number one, because the thing is he's doing what he should be doing, and that's showing everybody that you know he apologizes for his past, you know, for his past. And I think him turning his life around is gratitude enough. For everybody, you know, and that's the way I look at it, and I hope he stays like that, you know, and yeah, Kevin, he was a jerk, and I'll admit it, and you know, but the thing is, let me say something about Kevin too. Kevin is a funny bastard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always enjoyed being around him because he was funny, you know, and yeah, he could be a jackass at times. Well, a lot of times he could, you know, and I don't care whether he likes me or not, you know, but I always liked being around him because he was a funny guy. He really was. He's very entertaining, you know, backstage and stuff. He was always fun to hang out with too, you know. So, but you know, Scott, Scott, I'm happy for him. But and like I said, that one thing I should have thanked Kevin and Scott in my book for them, you know, making it possible for everybody to make more money.